place, Nashville, Tennessee, north of Nashville to be exact. Paige just was always outgoing, dancing. She loves dancing and just being the life and just in the center and the forefront of everything. So this is the beginning. This is baby Paige out the womb. My mom. Yep. You know, that's very vulgar. My mom and my dad. My mom had a C-section, so yep. Those are my beginning pictures. My mom pregnant with me, another picture.
No, it's a baby. Paige was a little fluffy little thing. She was always up under me a lot. She was a daddy's girl. She was very aware of everything. She always watched what was being done and what was going on. Smart little girl, very smart. But kind of sort of quiet, you know, if you can believe that right now. She was kind of a little quiet, but once she got to know you, she opened up a lot. But she was a real good little baby.
So this is childhood for me. I can remember coming out here like playing in a quarter-sack. Like I already knew, like I couldn't, the most I could ride my bike was in the circle. And she started out doing some modeling. She has done a commercial with Disney. She has, you know, also in school, you know, she's always been involved in dance. She was involved in dance at church. Dancing has really been her niche. That's her thing. She also took a stab at running track a little bit in junior high. She's also involved in ballet. I believe that it really started with in church. Like my first performance in front of people was dancing, of course, and I was praise dancing, and I was a part of, I think it was called the Youth Crusade. And what's crazy was I was on the devil's side. It was like a Jesus side and a devil's side. So one side wore blue, one side wore red, and that's as far as back as I can remember. But I know that like I was modeling for Disney at one point. My mom had me in modeling, and I was dancing. Modeling and dancing was like what I was doing like at the very beginning of Paige. So tell me this. What do you think about when you hear the word Malachi in church? Tithing? The best known part about the book of Malachi is chapter 3, verses 10. But what about all the other chapters? There's a saying, and I'm sure you heard of it. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Paige was real competitive, sore loser to be exact. But Paige, memorable moments was just being around me and always up under me. We did so much together when she was younger. Saying that Paige just wanted to learn a whole lot, and we talked a lot, and she learned a lot, and those were some real good moments, just being with Paige and sport activities and sports, and with the homework and all, and just competing with her with different things. That's some great moments when I think about Paige when she was young.
Well, I would say Paige as a young child was very, very outspoken, believe it or not. Very, very different. Very, very demanding of things. Like she had this kind of power over people that you would be like, OMG. Did she just say that? Like she just had a personality. So I guess that's why they got the name personality.
So there's more of me. Look, no, you can think of it. There's more of me.
Look, this is a good one. This is what you used to do every morning when I was trying to sleep.
think you want to go outside. Okay. My dad, Easter, and just me running away with the plunger. My mom said it's my favorite thing to do. It was amazing. You know, I got to experience like the TV family style. Like my parents had a fireplace in the house. So like I'm making pallets on the floor. Me and my mom sleeping on the floor. My daddy's there. We writing letters to Santa. I'm waking up to Santa Claus blessing me in ways that, you know, I'm just like, oh my gosh, all these clothes, all these toys, everything I wanted, you know, on my list I got. So Christmas time is very vivid to me. I don't really remember like day to day. Like, I mean, I do know that like, I slept with my parents every night. My dad got me dressed for school every morning. My mom would take me to school. My dad would pick me up from school. You know, so it was just a routine. They knew Paige ain't sleeping in her bed. She's gonna sleep right in the middle of y'all. And my dad never really slept in the bed with my mom. I mean, he did sometimes, but my dad is a couch sleeper. That's just where he sleeps. So it was always me and my mom. Dad come in the morning, get me dressed in my sleep, lay back down. Mama take me to school, you know. So now that you've asked me that and like I'm reliving it and actually thinking about it, it was actually cool. Right now here today, we're out here filming my documentary for The Wait in Averianna's story. Not sure if that's the real name for the documentary, but we're here, Paige Court, Paige. Here, this is where I grew up, so you guys are gonna get to know me for real, for real.
Very spoiled, always wanting her way, but her mother loved to dress her in fine clothing. So she was always dressed to the T, and she was always a beautiful baby, but she's very manageable though. She liked to cry sometimes, that's okay.
Paige was very active as a baby. She was a loving baby and loved to be loved on. She did. She played basketball. She was, and that was fun, watching her play basketball. She was really the smallest one on the basketball team, but she really, you know, tried and thrived and made plenty of baskets. And then she loved to dance, loved to dance.
They didn't say that shit on the radio, oh God. Oh shit. It looks different. Wait, is this my house? Yeah, it's my house. I said, wait, is this my house?
Right.
This is Chad's house, so that's my cousin.
Okay.
Okay. But y'all, so the house, this is my childhood home. You guys are actually being able to see my dad and my stepmom revamp it and put it together. So like now, like I think some weeks back, I don't know if we got on camera, hopefully we did, but it was nothing. So now like they're adding, so we can just have a space. I'm a very natured person, so we can have space to just be outside. So Paige Court, I used to always jump this very fence right here. This fence right here. We used to make sure we had a pathway right here, jump it, get to the dollar store, you know, get over here on Paige Court. So yeah, really excited about my new home. Not my new home, but my forever home. Yeah. So
the moment that I laid eyes on Paige, you can tell that Paige was a burst of energy, a lovable child. She met no stranger, and Paige is the type, because I was around her daddy, if her daddy's around that person, Paige is gonna love that person.
like I love nature, y'all. I really do. Like whenever I see like dirt and shit, I like to, like this is a form of me grounding myself and getting in tune like with the earth. So I always rub my hands in like soil because dirt is what grows us. Me and my mom has always sheltered me. My mom was so gung-ho on making sure that I did what society wanted me to do and what she thought was right, and you know, that kind of like made us bump heads like as I got older. I mean, what mom and daughter don't, you know, bump heads. It's just a part of the process. So yeah, like but I wasn't telling my mama nothing. If I got in trouble in school, if I was, she gonna have to figure, somebody gonna have to tell her. It ain't coming from Paige. But I mean, my mom was the discipliner. She whooped me. You know what I'm saying? She whipped my ass like every time I did something. You know that ass whipping was coming. So I mean, I feel like that kind of like affected our relationship, because like with my dad, like he wasn't like a whooper, but my mom grew up on being whooped and all of that stuff. So you know, I like growing up now as an adult, that's my girl, that's my best friend, that's my ride or die, that's who I'm gon', she know, call me baby, I'm coming. But you know, it's just been a process. You know, it was a process for me to, I think once I was allowed to be myself and say how I feel and voice my opinions, yeah, that's when the relationship got like that. But as a child, you know, what your parent says goes. So
some of the stipulations were she did have to be in before dark. I mean, but I will say Paige was not, you know, she wasn't driving or doing any of that. So any place she was, I would kind of be picking her up and bringing her on. So when I say being in for dark, meaning if she was outside or in the, you know, in the area. She also had a curfew. You know, one of the big things that they used to do as teenagers is go skating a lot. And so I used to always want to share that responsibility with her friends' parents, you know, like who's going to pick them up, who's going to bring them home. You know, she had discipline with that and curfews. I didn't really allow her to go to a lot of the parties that they used to have. You know, we kind of butt heads on that. So, you know, sometimes she'll get around it a little bit and say, I'm going to stay with Lisa, and you know, then she get at Lisa's and they go to the party, you know, like we all, I used to do it too, we all did. So that, you know, those were some of the things that she would get upset about not being able to participate in. But I did let her do some things, but I would say less. She didn't get to do a lot. She did less than probably her friends. Me and my dad, we always like been close since I was little. Like I said, my dad got me dressed in the morning. He picked me up from school every day. That didn't stop like until he bought me a car. So I spent a lot of time with my dad, just like on the fly. Like he was just always there. And as I got older, I feel like it flipped. As I got older, me and my daddy grew apart. Not grew apart, but just because that he was my foundation. He was my go-to. Like if he say no, no. Regardless of how I felt, I trusted his opinion. I trusted that he wasn't gonna steer me wrong. But like as I became an adult, like in college and you know just becoming a woman, you feel me? I set boundaries. Like I like what now we got to talk about what I like and what I want to do. So I feel like my daddy had a hard time, like I ain't gonna say letting me go, but my daddy is a his way or the highway type dude, especially when it comes to loyalty, because he just feels like he knows what's best. In the grand scheme of things, 9 times out of 10 he do. But you know, I feel like that kind of like altered our like relationship a little bit. But I mean, now as an adult, my daddy gonna come through. Anything I need, I don't have to hesitate to ask for it. Like if I need something and he got it, he gonna give it to me. If I did some wrong stuff, he's 9 times out of 10 gonna be the only person on this earth that I tell like, oh, I did X, Y, and Z. Or
So yeah, we just have a very open relationship, and it's always been that way, which is why I feel like we've always been close, because he's always given me my freedom and trusted me my daddy trusted me at age 4, 5, I don't know. So it's just, we just always had that, I got you, you got me, I trust you, you trust me, and that's it.
Well, as a father, I'm very proud of Paige. I'm very proud of her independency. You know, it's easy for a father to actually be a father if you know that's your responsibility. That was a responsibility of mine, was to raise Paige in a way and just be straightforward with her with life. And you know, with any other parent, you know, you hear some bumps, you know, some bumps in the road, some ups and downs. But I'm very proud of what Paige has become and how she's actually goes after whatever it is she wants. You can just see it. I could just see it at a young age that, you know, whatever it was she wanted to be, she was going to go get it. And she's striving for it right now as we speak. So I'm just, as a parent, raising Paige, you know, wasn't no different than any other parent. You know, we had our, you know, arguments and we had our roughs, but at the end of the day, she was a great kid to raise.
Me and Paige bumped heads, but it was kind of understandable why, because Paige's parents were recently divorced, and you come into a situation, and when kids are younger, like that, you can't force yourself on them. In the beginning, Paige she really didn't care for me, and I didn't force myself on Paige. I just was me. I could only be who I could, and over the years, once she started to grow and live under the same roof, she realized that, hey, she's not a bad person. Hey, I think I really like her, you know. And so in that type of situation, you just have to you have to be yourself. You can't force the kids on the new parent and then force the parent on the new kids, because it doesn't work like that. Everything has to be genuine, and it takes its course, and everything happens naturally.
Sometimes I could just walk down the street with some of my friends. I had a really close friend. Her name was Desiree. She lived right there. We actually had the same exact birthday. She passed away. Rest in peace to her. One of my close friends, Mike, right here. His family's still there. So I just had my childhood, like, neighborhood friends that I would come out. I really came outside. I didn't stay in the house. As I got older, I started to play the game a little bit. Like, when my parents separated, I would stay in the house more and play the game, PlayStation 2 to be exact. But beyond that, I was outside. And then I would ride, like, my little, y'all know those little motor cars you can drive, like, by battery. I would drive that up and down the street thinking I'm doing something. So this is home to me. The dogs are barking because they smell Cali on me. And it's like, if I'm walking down the street, I disturb all the dogs, because her scent is heavily on me. But yes, okay, so every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, really pretty much every holiday, this house, you knew you had something coming. I don't know if the people that was originally there when I was younger, I think they are. They still are there. So, like, this is their decor, like, now. But I'm telling you, when I was growing up, baby, everybody was like, we gotta decorate this time. That can't be the only house on the street with lights. So, yeah, very good childhood memory.
Keith Patton, Paige uncle. Crybaby. Motherfucking crybaby. No, she was a good kid though. Well, she was very outgoing, I'm saying, supportive.
So this is me and my goddad. Tony, I don't think we got to hear from him, but very impactful in my life. Me and my cousin Clint. Christmas has always been memorable times for me and my fam. Yeah. It's my cousin Brandon. Miss Cheryl. And there's more pictures of me and my mom. That's Christmas 95. So that's my dad feeding me and my Uncle Kim walking me. Me and my sister again. And then we rounded up with another picture.
Paige as a baby. I met Paige when I was 8. I met this round-eyed baby who was always up under me, and just throughout the years, she's always been up under my wing, with me being 8 years older than her. She was my tag-along to all the football games in high school, basketball games. Even when I was a majorette, she was there, learning all the dance moves and practice, and just, you know what, she actually ended up following my footsteps and became a majorette, and also attended NSA, where I went to high school at NSA. So just throughout the years as a child, she's just always been under my wing, and always just been a lively kid, and just always right there dancing with me to this day.
Growing up, me and Paige used to argue and fight all the time. We literally did. But as the years went on, and in high school we became closer, and in college we became closer. So we stopped all of that once we got in high school. But in elementary school and middle school, we used to argue and fight constantly.
In the beginning, before we came under one roof, the relationship was good. Once we came under one roof, just to be honest, all hell broke loose. It was chaotic. It was unstable, because Briera was used to being the only child in the house around me and Avery, and then we moved into the house. Avery has two kids, and now the time is have to be split up equally and not just focused on Briera, and it was just hard for Briera to deal with and accept, and it caused a lot of confusion over the years, a lot of heartache, a lot of tears, a lot of praying and anointing. I would go through the house and anoint the rooms, anoint the house, but just, they always say he doesn't come when you want him to, but he's on time. And I thank God for the growth in Briera's and Paige relationship.
As a baby, I think Paige was very spoiled. I mean, the cutest little baby that you will ever see, definitely that. But definitely very spoiled. You know, she got her way a lot. But, you know, how could you say no to a face like that, you know? So I definitely think I would describe her as that for sure.
In the beginning, it was a little rough. You know what I'm saying? We would be fighting at Jackie's house. But, you know, eventually over time, we grew to love each other. And it was just like, I don't know, it was like a light switch. It was like, oh my gosh, you my ride or die, you my homie, you my cousin, you my everything. And I mean, we've been like that ever since.
She was school-wise, work-wise, she was A student. Her grades, she really was worried about, she wanted A's. If she had a B, she'd get an attitude. She'll go and ask the teacher, what can I do, the extra creative work, just to get an A. That's just how she was. Being friends, Paige is the type of person that's really caring. You know what I'm saying? She always want to look out, and that's what one of her things with her friends. She try to always look out for everyone and wanted things to be peaceful. So coming up in her school days, she was just wanting to be liked. You know, when you're younger, you have a tendency to want everybody to be your friend, and she was that type of person. Which we used to have a lot of conversations about. Hey, Paige, you just gonna have to let people like you for you. You don't have to do or go out of your way to make people, like you. But that's just the type of person she was. She was always a giving person, and sometimes they can backfire on you. People take your kindness for your weakness. But we had a lot of conversations coming up, real talk conversations that I call them, and she understood. Sometimes she had to actually learn the hard way, but she eventually caught on and understood what I was talking about.
I would still say that Paige was very outgoing, but I will say that to a certain degree, you know, she's not, I wouldn't say introverted, but she was very selective about the choices of friends that she had. And I can remember having a lot of conversations with her about different friends that she had and, you know, how to handle it, because I felt like she was like everybody's friend and she was being pulled in a lot of different directions and trying to be friends with everybody and in different capacities of life, but she maneuvered through it and did well.
She loved to play basketball, and of course, something I wish she would do right now is dance. She was a dancer in high school, and she was involved in everything. Always in some kind of school play or something. You know, she always went to that school of the arts, so yeah, she was always involved.
Just comparing her from when she was a child to now, and just I guess like her early 20s, she has evolved. She's very ambitious. She's one of the most ambitious people I know. She's a go-getter. She's gonna go after what she wants and be satisfied and make sure she does the damn thing.
She's a woman like that's out to get what she wants in life and making sure that she does, and she's pushing every day.
No, I just love my little cousin. I'm just so proud of, you know, the woman that she's growing to be, and I just can't wait to see what she does, and I will be here to support her along the way.
Really, it's I call, you come, you call, I come. We just, it's really just what it is. Like, we like this.
That's the thing about her. Her personality is what gets her going. That's what that on that sign on the microphone say Averianna, the personality. That's what it is. She's got a great personality. She's got a beautiful smile. She's a beautiful person, man. You know?
It was interesting. I enjoyed it. I mean, and I was glad that as a grandparent, we were involved. You know, sometimes you don't get the beginning of it. You may get to walk in or walk past it, or, you know, implement when there's a need. But to actually keep us involved from the beginning through the end, it was. I enjoyed it.
I'm blessed. I stay busy. I'm always feel tired, but I always know I just gotta keep going. So that's kind of like where my mind is right now.